So let's break it down, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
From when we last discussed the Leafs in the preseason to where we are today.
Yeah.
Things could not have gone any better than you could have ever hoped for. I mean, this is as good as it gets, right? Like, we are thrilled at this point in the season, being in December. Christmas is on its way, New Year. So break it down for us, Zach. Why are the Maple Leafs so freaking good at this point?
Okay, so I was talking about this yesterday when I was watching the game with my brother, and there's one
You
thing
mean the
about the
5-0 shellacking of the
oh boy,
LA
LA
Kings?
Kings. Yeah, it was entertaining. It was like it wasn't just good hockey; it was entertaining.
Second shutout in the row, by the way. So I don't know if they're ever going to give up another goal. So it's looking fabulous, Zach.
Yeah, no, Samsonov, he was a little shady last night because they didn't give him the belt, even though he got a shutout. Anyways, I was sitting there with my brother and we were talking about it. And the thing that's bothering me about the Leafs most right now is they had Muzzin, Brody, and Riley all out, right? Which, as far as I'm concerned, that's their 1 through 3. Okay.
Although Brody's is coming back.
Brody just got back last game. Okay. Yes. They had him out, and defensively speaking, they were sound. Like, they were playing good hockey. Sandin stepped up. Liljegren stepped up. Most of all, 38-year-old Mark Giordano looked like he was going to win the track award out there, playing 29 minutes a game. Not actually, but like, he was out there a lot. And not just playing minutes. He was blocking shots. He was acting as an enforcer too, beating people up. So
we like that, Zach. We like that a lot.
No, I love it, but it's concerning for me because they're playing so well defensively right now. What's going to happen when Mo comes back? Because Mo, to me, he's always bothered me. He's not a defenseman. He's a glorified left winger. And that to me has always been bothersome because, when I coached hockey, the best thing you could find is just a freaking stay-at-home defenseman. A guy who's going to make the right moves, good first pass out of the zone, defensively sound, doesn't lose positioning, always behind, always in front of the puck, depends on the positioning in the zone. But the guy, he's just sound, and Mo is not that guy.
But Zach, I got to ask you a question then. The heart and soul of the team, Nick Robertson, now out. How is the team going to recover from this?
Nick Robertson the Leafs should have traded him at the beginning of the year. I was freaking like begging the hockey gods. I was begging the hockey gods, like, just get rid of him already. Whether he's a good or not good hockey player, I'm not even going to question. Okay. He's not good for this team. He hasn't been for years. He's got value. Trade him now. Separated shoulder. He's probably out the rest of the year.
If not, they're putting him on long-term IR right now to get that salary cap relief. I guarantee you.
He's on a 2-way contract. They don't even need to put him on LTIR.
Oh, really?
They can throw him back to the minors. Forget about it.
This is where you know all this stuff, Zach. Thank you for sharing that.
That's the reason he didn't make the team, and Malgin did, because they could move Robertson up and down without having to waive him and risk losing him.
So you don't think we're going to miss a beat without Robertson?
Not a beat at all.
Okay. All right. So getting back to Marner for a sec. I mean, look at the names he passed. Daryl Sittler, Eddie Olczyk. Like, wow. Like 21 points. Like, I think in my estimation now, there's no coincidence that we have this win streak going and he's got this point streak going. I think the team is really rallying around it. I think they're having a lot of fun with it. And every time he extends that streak, I bet you they're like loving it in the dressing room. They're spraying each other with water and it's a good time.
I was watching a podcast, Spit and Chicklets, a clip from the Spit and Chicklets.
Wait, you're watching another podcast?
Well, only for research purposes. Don't worry.
You mean, okay, you're not going against, okay, phew. Okay.
No, only for research purposes. Because, when we have these hockey discussions, I need to make sure that I'm knowledgeable.
You got me right there. Okay.
No. And the Spit and Chicklets podcast is pure hockey. So, they do provide value in some sense there.
So it's not a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle podcast. Each and every subject matter, like the way we do on The Chosen Life, and that's why people subscribe, hit the notification bell, because they never know week to week what we're going to talk about.
No, exactly. And I haven't even subscribed or hit the notification bell with Spit and Chicklets. Like, I have subscribed and hit the notification bell for Chosen Life podcast because it's not the same. But whatever they were saying. They were talking and they were saying how where was I going with this point?
You were doing research, Spit and Chicklets, and they brought in as far as Tom Marner points streak.
I completely am blinking. I don't know where I was going with that.
Marner point streak. Marner this part. Yeah, we're talking about the Marner point streak and how the team's rallying around it. Team
Right.
gets all
Okay.
excited. Yeah.
Okay, let's restart. Ready?
Go.
So I was watching the Spittlin' Chiclet podcast, and they were talking about Marner's point streak and how the team's rallying around him. And they showed a clip of the other day, Steven Stamkos, who got his 1,000th point, which big deal. Okay, let's not diminish that. That's a huge achievement.
It's 1,000 more than you and I both have together combined, Zach, in the NHL.
Yeah, exactly. You're telling me. Anyways, he got his 1,000 points, and they're sitting there in the dressing room, and obviously John Cooper, a class act, gives Victor Hedman the puck so that he could give it to Stamkos. They do the whole ceremony. They give him his stick and the flowers and everything with his family, which is nice. But if you watch the actual dressing room demeanor as he gets his 1,000th point, it just seems a little reserved, right? You're sitting there thinking, okay, big deal. Everybody clap for him. And then it just shifts to the Leafs. Marner gets his 19th point or whatever it was, breaking the record, or his 19th game in a row with the streak, whatever it was, breaking the record or tying the record, whatever it was. And you just see them showering him with water all over the place. And Ryan Whitney, who I really don't love on a good day, said something smart. He goes, that's just the difference between the pedigree of teams. Okay. An individual achievement in Stamkos' 1,000th point, which is great. It's great. It's still worthy of a celebration, but we're not talking about dumping water on the guy and having this whole melee in the middle of the room. The Leafs are celebrating the small things, which is great, but they're accepting victory in areas which, while it's nice, you got to have bigger dreams here, baby. Like, you need to have that pedigree where we're here to win the Stanley Cup. No ands, ifs, and buts about it, and anything else that happens in between, great, just happens on the way. But let's freaking focus on.
Can you help explain to the viewers this concept of the Maple Leafs belt? So this is only given when they win, I presume.
No, I think. Well, yeah, it may be only given when they win.
And who who gets this belt at the end of every game?
The last winner decides who gets it the next game. So Matt Murray got it the previous game because he had a whatever it was 4-0 shutout. So he received the belt for player of the game, and then he decided to give it to not Ilya Samsonov last night, which was a little bit of a surprise because he also got a 5-0 shutout. But I'm sure there's no bad blood between them or anything like that.
I think it's all bad blood. If I was Samsonov or Murray, I would not be rooming these guys together. I wouldn't let the guy open the door for me. I'd always be keeping one eye open around. Oh, sorry, my skate was out. Oops. I guess you're not gonna be playing for a while. Like, I don't know. Do you think that they're best buds? Like they're hanging out like Dumb and Dumber, or you think that they're like reserved and like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. What do you think their relationship is like?
I don't think they're I'm gonna get you. I think they may be reserved. Listen, Samsonov just doesn't speak English very well, so that could be, a challenge to begin with. I don't see Matt Murray being that type of guy because one of the nicest hockey players in the world, everyone says, is Marc-Andre Fleury, and they were tandem together for years, and they didn't have a problem. They won a few Stanley Cup or a couple Stanley Cups together. So I don't see Matt Murray being that guy. Everybody also says, the guy is just as class act as it gets. He's got charities, for many different important causes. So everybody says he's such a good guy. I think it has, because he gave it to Zach Aston Reese. I think it has to do more with acknowledging, a guy who plays in the bottom side of the lineup for making a big play. Because obviously, you watch the game against LA, he smoked that guy, whoever that was, I don't know, no name, in the middle of the ice. Took the fight, and then that's when everything just went nuts. The Leafs started going on a rampage after that. So